that's another thing. We so close, like siblings type of close, that we be telling each other about our issue. Like Sean would quickly be like, "Now you know that skirt too tight," type of thing. Like, or you know that whatever. Like, we will, and that's because we love each other
and we're comfortable with
we're comfortable with it.
But you need that. That's why it's like, even when you like.
So that's what brings in the church topic part to it.
So when you see, like, because of our like little community or our group of friends, right? We're like brutally honest with each other. Like, we'll be like, you know that's raggedy. You know that's raggedy.
A little too brutal words. Like, I don't want to tell y'all nothing right now because I know what y'all gonna tell me. I'm just not gonna say.
But we're each other's meter though, because I will literally have a conversation with somebody and I'll be like, Tia, because she has that kind of, the way she thinks is a little different than me. I'm just like, am I doing too much, or am I tripping, or is this what it looks like? And every blue moon she'll be like, yeah, you tripping. For the most part, I'm not tripping because usually I'm good. But every blue moon,
It's more times she is tripping than she isn't.
She
girl, she lying.
She tried to up herself just now.
I got the receipts. I'm typically right.
Yeah.
But you need. Okay.
Oh.
And it's a hole in my shirt, and she's selling out.
I wish we could zoom the camera in so y'all can see.
Don't y'all worry about my holes. Unless y'all trying to buy me a shirt.
That's that family aspect. See, ain't no, man, she did you wrong.
She did. Get out of here. Get out of here. What you doing? Leave my holes alone. I've got holes. Alright, so yes.
It's holy sanctified.
So my question then is, right, when you're in this platonic relationship from your viewpoint, right, and you see that the other person is starting, and you like, okay, wait a minute, you didn't send me this good morning, like I said, you sent this good morning text this whole week, you be texting me throughout the day like I'm your old lady, asking me where I'm at and stuff like that. What do you do to, reel it in or to stop it where it's at?
Have a conversation.
You have to, but a lot of people aren't comfortable having those conversations.
You see, the thing is, I'll have these conversations. Maybe I'm still too nice. I don't know.
She is.
But I'll have these conversations and I'll tell you straight up. And then I get straight up. Like, I'll be honest. And then I'll still get another message. And it might not be the day of. It may be a few days later or even a week or so later. But then my problem, of course, is in the responding. Like, I could have ignored. But then sometimes it's like, you see these people all the time anyways.
But the thing is, right, that goes back to the boundary, right? So I've sent you this message and I've told you that we're just going to be friends. So when that message comes in, I can respond to you, but I'm going to give the response that I'm supposed to give, as in, now this ain't, you know what I'm saying?
I will say it's not that black and white. Because if you have this friendship with this person and y'all love each other and y'all just be rocking, and then you notice like, wait a minute, you loving me long time and I'm just kind of loving you short time. You can't. It's not just, oh, I'm going to have a conversation and I'm going to remind you of my boundaries. Because at that point, you love this person. You want to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all close. You can have a conversation like, what's going on.
Yeah, but there's in different ways of answering it. Like, if you go back into the same way that you was answering it before, you can mess it back up. Because then that person goes right back into that same mindset. Now, if you, like, twist the conversation to the way that it's supposed to be, like a true friendly conversation, when this person, this text message me, they're trying to holler, and you feed into it, then you go right back into the same cycle.
Yeah, it's a matter of who this person is to you, how you would answer that, right? And then sometimes it just needs time to thaw out or whatever, and you can still salvage the relationship.
Ladies, I'm just gonna tell you, just text back, I'm trash, I'll ruin your life, don't text me no more.
Be like, what's his name? Aha. Maybe Gina.
Yeah, exactly.
I told you once before.
Hey, I told you once before.
We can't talk. But from the church aspect, bringing that into it, it's just like they in church culture, they try so hard to keep males and females separate. It's just like you have this brothers go hug your brothers and sisters go hug your sisters. And I think one time I was at the altar praying, and you know, you could just see the sadness. It was weighing on me. I had some family issues happening, and he came over and he gave me a hug. And it's so crazy, like in a moment of worship, the only thing I could think was, oh, you gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move, because I don't want nobody to think nothing. And sure enough, I had several people like, you know,
and that's a problem, and that's a problem in church culture, because you know how you keep something, you tell somebody they can't do something, or you try to keep something from something. It just makes that when you do finally get to hang out with that person, that's why like a lot of church dudes, they be like awkward around girls, and they just be weird, or they just be doing off the wall stuff. They don't know what to do. So when they are hanging with female, it just get real weird.
I think instead what we need to do, instead of just stopping completely, you got to teach it.
You teach it, exactly.
You got to teach. Okay, well, you know, you guys can be friends. You can do this. You can do that, whatnot. But I mean,
don't be texting her at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, like you say stuff like that, you know, or make sure you guys set those boundaries and that you guys both respect.
Don't be hanging out one-on-one.
Teach it. Teach, because then they want you to be married too.
Because
when are you getting married? But then you don't want me to hug my brother.
I know.
Or you don't want me to say praise the Lord to my brother.
Because you see all the time, you see young people, sex is such a taboo topic in the church. But you see young people that don't even look like they talk to each other ever, and then you find out later that they done got into some stuff, and you gotta pray them through and stuff like that. And it's just like, I'm more concerned with what I don't see than what it is I see. The stuff that I see, at least I know is still in a harmless state, because like we said, there's a nervousness that happens when things have occurred. You can feel when there's something that happened. But this, I can see this, and while I can correct it, like, okay, you're doing a little too much, it's the stuff that you don't see that you need to be worried about. That, oh, I know if I interact with you in public, people gonna think something, so I ain't gonna, you know. So it's like, teach it. Talk about sex. You have the uncomfortable conversations first. You
and
do
not
the
just
hard
that you shouldn't do it, but explain why and all the stuff that come with it, and all of that stuff.
Because you got to think about, right, when you don't talk about sex, especially in the church house, where are they getting their information from now? Now you're getting it from someone that's in the world they didn't learn from a rap song, or they didn't learn from a video, or their parents. And now there's no
TV
show, so there's no godly foundation under it to help you even get through that, or how to deal with it. So I'm just saying, because I mean, that's one of the things. Like, I think it's scary because we've swept it under the rug for so long, and I've only been doing this for like 4 or 5 years. And you can only imagine 20, 30 years you're not talking about this stuff. So that's why these people go behind the back, and you hang out with a school, you go to school with a group of friends, and your whole group is having sex, and you're the only one that's a virgin, and it's like, girl, what you waiting on? You know you like him, you need to go ahead and do that. Or, man, you gay because you don't want to have sex with that girl, you know she fine.
And the only thing you're taught is don't do it.
Don't do it,
Out of marriage, which is technically everything, but yet we still lie, we still cheat, and then when you see people do this stuff, you're shocked. You're like, why would you do this? How could you do this? But it was never taught, and it was never coming from a good place. Like, you don't press real relationships. You don't press interactions for real, and how to keep, like, friendships are so important. You learn so much before you get into a marriage. But you don't talk about sex, you don't talk about relationships, but you do beat down marriage. So then you got these 18, 19, 20-year-olds getting married. We're going off onto another topic, y'all. This is for another time. I'll probably might reconvene.
All I'm saying with that is it's important that you teach these things, and not just shun friendships and things when you see it. You know, there's always room to mentor and correct, and you stay in their ear, and you stay on constantly reevaluating yourself and reevaluating your relationship with Christ, and you keep drilling that into them. Not, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, but you keep Christ at the forefront.
When the person falls down, don't kick them when they're on the ground. Most people, when they come to you with an issue, they're already feeling bad enough. So you encourage them and tell them, because they already know it's wrong, that's why they're coming to you, or they're all looking for help, and then they come to you.
You're at the altar.
Yeah, and then you shouldn't have did that, and it's just like, oh, now you done, the place that they're supposed to get love from.
Church, or not going to church.
Exactly, so it's like, I'm saying, you got to do things in decency and in order, and in the right way. Love, like Jesus did. Man, you know how many times we done messed up? If God did us the way that sometimes you get done in the church when you mess up, you know what I'm saying? That's a rough place.
All I say is friendships are the pregame.
Yeah.
So for marriage, or for anything like friendships, that's where you learn that you can't say certain stuff to people.
Sorry, well, this is off topic. When are you supposed to get your taxes after you do your tax return?
I'm dead.
Well, I guess on that note, class adjourned. Because I don't know what she got going on over here.
This is what happens about her refund.
Yes, I need that coins.
So Tia, we thank you for coming in today. We'll have you on again. It's Raw Man.
I'll consider it.
Jer speaks.
That's Perry. Pray for her, please.
Every week, the same thing.
She ain't even do nothing. She didn't even give us her opinion.
You guys were talking.
This would have been a good topic for you to weigh in on too.
I mean, you guys kept talking.
So talk.
What do you want me to say?
Wow.
And you're done now.
You guys,
Bye, guys.
So what do you think about platonic relationships, Perry?
I think they're great.
I'm not gonna do that.
You are a good one to speak.
That's what I'm saying. You would be the perfect.
She's a great one to
She
speak.
is
Hey, look like class is back in session. Hey.
I was hoping
Go ahead, girl.
that you, of all people, because there were several points that were made when you could have jumped right in, but you didn't do it.
I'm not a jumper.
Well, go ahead. So you got time to speak right now.
Then walk in.
Class back in session.
Two minutes.
I was on a hoverboard today.
Okay, so 2 minutes.
We're going back to platonic relationships
Oh my gosh,
between
why?
male and female in the church.
Why not? I mean, if we're friends, if we're able to be friends with female to female, which is what they push, or female to female, male to male, and people end up lesbians or homosexuals
from the other side.
So it's like,
Brothers, go hug your brother. I don't want to hug him. Just saying.
but so it's like that male to female ratio, or male to male or female to female, it really doesn't matter, because you could fall into homosexuality as well. So that part doesn't matter. But platonic relationships are healthy and they can work. However, the boundaries are not set early. Or when something comes up that's a little different than what y'all been doing before, and it comes up and it's not addressed at that time, then it can easily progress into something.
Especially like if it's
extra.
Something, if it's like, a lot of times when that thing happens as well is when...
What is that thing?
Like when you might start getting feelings for the other person, is when you're there, when they show up when other people don't. And then they start feeling as though, dang, no one else was here, you were here for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, like I love that, you're a pretty good person. Now if that person is not great of a person, then you probably know, like, I could never be with you. Like, you just so. There are some people like that I'm just like, I can't.
Wow.
Bro, I told you, you don't stop trying me. You're done now. You're done now. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Kitty.
Alright. Bye, guys.
That's why you gotta love
It's
yourself.
time for me to go. It's 8:45. I'm sure y'all don't care about the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Tia.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, I thought we were done, no?
Like,
Bye, T.
just go. Get out.
She's kicked out of class. Go to detention.
Right. I love her though.
Word to the wise, when you have guests, make sure that they are
Not
good
urban.
guests and not urban guests,
Yes.
right? Because this whole time, first she worried about her tax refund, she in and out. This just, you ain't never did nothing. You're a horrible classmate.
What can I say?
You can't cheat off her test. She ain't focused.
She go from taxes to, ooh, and I was on the health report today. But when you think about it, if they're raggedy, it's just like, girl, where's your head? Always.
So what I will say is her husband just be, you know, she just be jumping from topic to topic. She'll be like, yeah, babe. Ooh, excuse us.
I cannot.
You said it, not me.
That time.
Can we delve in a little deeper in that?
No, this ain't the topic.
What's the topic?
We talking about friends becoming, you know.
We'll see you guys next time. Just word to the wise people in the church house. It's okay for male and females to have organic, clean, platonic relationships. If done properly, and our job is to make sure, especially with mentor the people that are younger than you, and make sure that it is done properly. Develop those relationships.
And I mean, at the end of the day, if you end up liking that person and y'all are both in the church as well, that's even better. I mean, if you end up, I know a lot of people that met each other in the church as friends and now are married with kids, you know, and like, oh, this was my friend, you know, so at the end of the day, there can still be a positive that comes out of it when those boundaries are set.
But there are some wolves in the church house too, so ladies,
Run.
yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Pentecostal pimping. been pimping.
Oh my gosh, class.